Cam, would you like to talk about what's going on in your life these days?
Well, I called you last night
That's what's going on in your life?
at 11:30 p.m. I was trying to tell you what was going on in my life, and you couldn't comprehend what the fuck was going on.
I had some issues going on.
Well, I asked you, what's going on? You're not making too much sense right now.
I know. It was like I was talking to my father, trying to pretend I was straight.
And I go, what's happening here? Are you fucked up right now?
Well,
You said no.
I wasn't.
You said no. I'm not
Okay.
fucked up.
I was lying.
And then slowly,
I didn't realize I was fucked up.
as the conversation continues to go on, I discover a few things.
What?
Well, number one, you just had a glass and a half of wine.
Yes.
You did not tell me that.
Yes.
And two, you had taken an edible.
Okay. Both of those things sound like I'm like a fucking like demented.
You were fucked up.
I was okay.
Drunk and high. You were both drunk and high.
What are you, my father? Again.
No, but I ask you, what's going on? You're not making any sense right now. And then it turns out you're both
All right.
you're drunk and high.
Okay. This is what happened. I was sitting on my couch minding my own business. And Dee says he's going to take one of my friends over to the dispensary. So he comes back with my friend.
This is the weed dispensary, not the alkaline water dispensary.
Yes. What alkaline water dispensary?
Just want to clarify.
Yes, the weed dispensary. It's legal here in California. So he took her over there, comes back, and she's like, why don't we get a glass of wine? And I'm like, okay, but I was planning on, going to sleep. And she's like, no, just come up and have a glass or two of wine. Go upstairs, have a glass or two of wine. By the way, she admits to me that she was about to pee in her pants. And I said, guess what I just did? I just peed in my pants.
What's going on?
I don't know. Something happens.
You're just pissing your pants. And you're drinking wine at like 10 p.m. and then taking edibles. What's happening?
I don't know. I did that all to go to sleep because I wanted a good night's sleep.
You pissed your pants to go to sleep?
No, that was besides that was because someone made me laugh.
Oh my God.
See, you have to plan laughs and sneezes when you get to be a certain age. You can never just like try to hold everything in, because if you don't plan for a laugh or a sneeze and then you are like slightly full in terms of your bladder, you may slip a little.
You might want to do some Kegel exercises.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Kegel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Get that pelvic floor going.
Anyway, so when I went upstairs, it was basically just to get, one glass of wine. I was going to go to sleep. And then she's like, why don't you try an edible? It will make you sleep better. And it's supposed to be just for sleep because it said on the container, sleep. Guess what it does to me? Gets me hyper.
Not good. Not good.
So that's what happened. So what were you going to tell me?
Well, first of all, I just wanted to note that I think you get fucked up a lot more than you lead. That you really share.
Excuse me. What judgmental Judy was wrong with you?
Yeah.
No, I do not get fucked up that often. As a matter of fact, I wish I got fucked up more.
And second of all, you were not the only one that had poor sleep last night.
You had poor sleep.
I had poor sleep.
And why?
And the night before, actually.
2 nights in a row.
Yes.
Oh, here it comes.
Because for some reason, you decided to gift me a plant.
Okay, first of all, I didn't decide to give you a plant. That was your plant.
You gifted me a plant that I grew up with.
It was a money tree.
That you put out on your balcony.
Because Buddy was eating all the dirt out of it.
And you failed to tell me that it was completely infested with spider mites.
First of all, I didn't know that it was infested.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about what happened before the spider mites?
Fine.
Go for it.
Are you referring to the play?
Yep. Yep. I try to do something nice and take you and your brother to a play in Chicago, and it's not appreciated.
Okay. All right. This is the story. We're in Chicago, and there's a very famous theater called Steppenwolf in Chicago.
And if anybody hasn't been there, you should definitely go there one day.
Some of the best theater around.
Yeah, it started in the basement in the 70s of a church.
John Malkovich was one of the founders.
John Malkovich, Jeff Perry.
And so there's a very famous playwright and actor named Tracy Letts who was putting on a play there called Bug. He had written Bug in the 90s.
Right.
I have heard he wrote August Osage County, several other
Superior
plays.
Donuts.
So you say Tracy Letts
Vista.
is a play over there. We should go.
And he always does shows that are like dysfunctional families. So I thought our family would appreciate that.
We would identify with the dysfunctionality of that. Okay. So I said, sure, you get me a ticket very generously.
Thank you.
You do not read the description of the play.
No, why would I read it? Because I thought anything he does is good. And I thought Bug, it sounds cute.
Bug sounds cute, like A Bug's Life you're expecting?
I kind of thought it had to do with that. And by the way, I might have actually seen Bug several years ago and forgotten that I saw it. So it might have been something I'd already seen and just don't remember.
Let me tell you, this was the most disturbing hour and a half of my life.
It was interesting. It was a psychological thriller.
Here's the premise of the play, and if you're ever going to see this, I don't recommend it because it will scare the fuck out of you. And second of all,
I thought it was very good. By
you
the way,
shouldn't
and
listen
so did
right
your brother.
now.
Your brother loved it too.
This is going to be a spoiler. It starts with this very lonely, traumatized woman living in a motel room, and she takes in a homeless guy, and they're constantly smoking crack. And then they start sleeping together.
And they show nudity, which I liked.
Oh my fucking God. It was not at all sexual. It was just because they were just smoking crack and getting nuts. And the guy just starts discovering bug bites on his body.
Which has been one of your most fearful things on...
If I have a phobia, it is of bed bugs.
Right.
And he literally starts describing the bed bugs, the aphids that he's finding in the bed.
Right.
I'm freaking out already.
I know. And I turned to your brother. I'm like, this is not going to go well over here.
And then the story starts spiraling slowly at first. He starts seeing the bug bites on himself. Then she discovers some on herself. He discovers some on her. And she's like, oh, I guess so. And then he starts saying, I must have brought in these bugs. And so he starts thinking, I'm infected. And he starts trying to get the bug. He thinks the bugs are in his skin. And he starts cutting himself and trying to remove the fucking bugs from his skin.
It is
and
a terrifying
he unveils
drama.
that he had been in the military, and the government was doing these tests on him and giving him these vaccines and implanting these bugs to spy on him.
It was very timely, I would think, with the pandemic.
I don't give a fuck if it was timely. I was scared out of my fucking mind. And meanwhile, she's so lonely that she's just going on along with his psychosis, and she eventually adopts his complete paranoid schizophrenia. And the two of them ultimately light themselves on fire and the motel room.
You ruined the whole fucking thing just now.
No one should watch this. It's fucking terrifying. And they did make a movie of this, which I don't recommend anyone watch unless you want to be fucking terrified of it.
Okay, well, you totally ruined that show for me and for your brother, and now for most of the sneaky freaks that listen to this.
Well, you know what ruined my fucking night? When I return home to discover I was living in the set of Bug, and my fucking apartment is covered in these spider mites because you gave me a plant that was infested with spider mites.
Okay, first of all, I didn't know it was infested, and I would never have shared that. And I told you to get rid of the plant. And
you gave me the plant in a fucking garbage bag that was sitting in the trash room.
Right, because I threw it out.
And you said, well, no one's taken it, so it's a sign that you should take it. That was verbatim what you said.
I kind of did feel like it was your plant, and it had survived the trash and survived these little mites. Then obviously it's a healthy, hardy plant.
Well, it's a very healthy and hardy situation that I found myself in, waking up at 4 a.m, itching everywhere.
Did you start
I go to the bathroom.
Yourself?
I literally thought I saw I guess I saw like a little hair on the toilet seat. I thought it was a spider moving. I was going nuts over here. I'm literally becoming the guy in Bug. And then I couldn't remember Jim Carrey's name.
What is Jim Carrey?
And it drove me fucking insane.
Well, then, welcome to my life.
That's what I felt like.
What?
I felt like I was you.
Oh my God.
I couldn't remember anything. Couldn't remember Jim Carrey's name. I was so upset.